Hey there, my name is Chris Kelly. I'm a life and business coach. An entrepreneur. I'm a mother of three. And I have been deathly afraid of putting myself on video in sort of a raw form, if you will, instead of having all the glitz and glamour of makeup and lighting and all of the things that I would expect perfection from a video. But today, I am going to share with you why tomorrow is too late. You see, what I want to talk to you about is the thought of a lost voice. About a year ago, my voice began to change. It sort of became hoarse and scratchy. And then my roommate noticed that there was a lump or a swelling on my throat right here. And I kind of just chalked it up to the fact that there were pollens in the air. I was living in a new place. There was dirt, there was grass. And I'm sure that that was all what was causing this scratchy voice. And at that time, I didn't have health insurance, so it really didn't matter whether I had a lump in my throat or, a tree growing out of the side of my head. I didn't have the money or the ability to go see a doctor, so it was what it was. And then about 6 weeks ago, so fast forward almost a year, I was at a networking event. And this woman meets me for the very first time, and the first thing she says to me is, "What's that thing on your throat?" And I thought, isn't that interesting? Here I have, for the past year, had to clear my throat, had a scratchy throat. Sometimes people couldn't hear me, even though it seemed to me like I was yelling. And not my friends, nor my family, had really made any comment about it other than that roommate. No one had noticed the lump, and you probably can't see it either. But it made me wonder, and it made me think, as I have reflected on the fear of this video. You see, over the past 2 years, my life has gone from okay to bad to worse, and now, and for the past almost a year, it seems to be getting better. When I say bad, I mean I went from having a net worth combined of over $1 million to losing everything that I owned. Everything that was material was taken, or I shouldn't say taken, due to circumstances and poor choices and mishaps in relationships. I ended up losing everything or had to forfeit everything. And about a year ago, so the first year was pretty miserable. I mean, I was caught up in disbelief, anger, blame, sadness, hopelessness. What was I going to do? Here I am, a mother at the time last year of a 4-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 19-year-old, and no income, no way to pay my bills, 6 weeks away from homelessness, and lost, completely and utterly lost and hopeless. But if there's one thing that I've never done, it is quit. And at that point in my life, I was ready to quit. I didn't know how, and I don't think I really meant it, but I had a 4-year-old, and I'm all she has. So there was no quitting. So I was fortunate enough to have been blessed with an opportunity, and that is not what I'm talking about here, so I'm not even going to go into it. But I will say that with this opportunity, my life has changed, and I have found new hope. But before I found that, I found faith. And I've always been someone who has steered away from any kind of organized religion. I've always believed, and I actually bought into the whole idea of something greater than myself, a higher power, a woo-woo universe, whatever. In February of 2012, I found God. And I found God in a really big way. I was invited to go to a church here in San Diego a couple of times, and I did go to this other church. I went the first time, and it was everything that I was afraid of in terms of organized religion and big commercialized churches. And then I went again because I thought, well, maybe it was just an off day, but it wasn't an off day. It was still the same experience for me the second go round. And then a friend invited me to his church, and I went, and I sat there, and I cried. and I cried and I cried and I cried. And nobody talked to me. And that was something that was unique, because my experience in churches before was that everyone wanted to recruit me and invite me to their tea parties and Bible studies and everything else, and that did not happen. And it didn't happen because I was an outsider in this church, and I really think that people were there for their praise. They weren't there for their social life, which was perfect for me, because I didn't go to church looking for new friends. I went to church to find God. I went to church to find hope. I went to church to find faith. I went to church to find out how in the hell I was going to continue on this journey with no job, no income, and a small child to be completely and totally responsible for. How in the world was I going to provide for her? And that day, our pastor, Pastor Reginald Gary, at New Creation Church in San Diego, spoke these words. He said that there are many of us out there, meaning all of us sitting in the congregation, who are really going through tough times. Many of us may be going through really difficult financial times, and of course I felt as though he were speaking directly to me at that time. He said, but right now, if you were to stop and take inventory, you have everything you need. And I stopped, and I did just that. Did I have a house? Yes. At that moment I did. Did I have a car? Yes. Did it have gas in it? Yes. Did my daughter and I have clothes on? Yes. Did we have food to eat? Yes. Did we have good health? As far as I knew, yes, we did. Did my sons have all that they needed? Yes. And so therefore, in that moment, it was absolutely the truth that God had provided for me everything I needed at that moment. And I've heard before, where there is fear, there is no faith. And I realized that I'd been living in a place of absolute fear for years and years and years. And I could take this moment, that one day, that one moment in church, and trust with all my heart that I would be taken care of. And I have. 2 weeks later, I was blessed with this financial opportunity that I just mentioned. And that began to change my life. I began to build an income. I began to grasp and practice personal development. So along with my faith and my personal development, my life began to change. So that was a year ago. And it's continued to change. But my voice has continued to be scratchy. Fortunately, on June 1st, I was able to get health insurance. Part of my journey in the past year, after I got on more solid ground and began finding hope again, generating an income, finding a safe place for my daughter and I to live, I realized that part of why I'm here, part of all these lessons, which I now call blessings, because I have had to find the blessing in each of the lessons, from deceit to betrayal to theft to loss of everything. I've had to find the blessing. And part of that blessing is that each one of those things have been my responsibility, because ultimately I've made the decision or made a choice which has led to that. And I know that I have this story to share. I know that I have huge obstacles, huge challenges, huge things in my life that I have overcome. And every time I talk about them or share about them, people are inspired and empowered. And I know that I have to get on video, and I know that I have to share my story, but it's been so scary, because you're watching this and thinking, who is this chick and what does she have to say? But there is someone out there that will be able to extract something from what I share, that it might give them one little bit of hope that you can overcome. You can do anything that you set your mind to. You don't have to buy into the border bullies or to the people that want to keep you down, hold you down, or put you down. You can overcome. One of the other lessons that I've discovered through this journey is the lack of value. No matter how many dollars or hours I work to earn those dollars to purchase a material item, they really have no value in the grand scheme of things. And that really, what is truly priceless is faith, family, and friends, and of course, health. You know, I am now today sitting here in gratitude for my health and the health of my family and my children. But I'm also sitting here in the possibility of a weakened health and an unknown outcome from an ultrasound that I had on my throat last week. But that lump is clearly impacting my voice. And it could potentially impact my life. But I believe with all my spirit, heart, and soul that my future is strong. And that this is just another blessing disguised as a lesson for me to speak up, to speak out, to share my story, to share my gift before it's gone. To share my voice as God directs me to share it, and to inspire and to empower, or I may be silenced. What if I don't take the opportunity while I know I can speak? What if I don't make videos? What if I don't talk to strangers? What if I don't share what I know? What if I don't share what I've overcome, what I've been through? And how I've overcome, and how I've found God to be my almighty healer, leader, guidance, and provider. What if I voluntarily give up my voice because I'm afraid of what someone might think who's watching this video? I ask myself, is there a difference between losing a voice that you have and choosing to remain quiet? Yes, the answer is yes. At this moment, we all have a choice to take action. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Tomorrow, later today, no guarantee. So this is the first of my videos to let my voice be heard. Today, I have begun to speak out on film, to speak out loud, to put it on YouTube, to put it on Facebook. Today, I praise God for what I've been through, for what I have learned, for the gifts and the blessings of God, and for the opportunity to speak to you. I encourage you to begin your journey today with me, to reach out, to find faith, and to stamp out fear. Get it out of your life. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. So join me, find your voice, and let's go change the world together. We never know what one word we might speak, how it might change and impact somebody else's life. But keeping a secret, keeping our mouth shut is a crime, because we're here for a reason. I am, and so are you. God bless you.